Hey guys, welcome to Keep On Pushing TV. I am your host, Devon Harris. And yeah, man, you know what we do here, right? We share ideas and insights that are going to challenge you and inspire you to live your absolute best life. Are you interested in that, even remotely? Well, if you are, you know you're in the absolute right place. So again, welcome to Keep On Pushing TV. My guest today is a 7-time All-American. She, while competing at the University of South Carolina back in 2003, was the only athlete from that university to be named SEC Athlete of the Week. Once during the indoor season and the other, obviously, during the outdoor season. While there, she also became the NCAA champion in both the 100 and 200 meters. This was back in 2003 as well. As a junior athlete, she won titles at the CARIFTA Games, at the Central American and Caribbean Junior Games, as well as the World Junior Championships. She has won a silver medal back in 2003 in the 200-meter event at the World Championships, and have won multiple medals at the World Championship as part of the 4x100-meter relay team, to include a gold in 2009. In 2009 at the World Championships, she also won a bronze medal in the 100-meter event. She's a 2-time Olympian, representing her native Jamaica at the 2004 Athens Games, Summer Games, in Greece, of course, and also in 2008 in Beijing, China. Back in 2004, she was a member of that 4x100-meter gold medal team. Really impressive young lady. I am so pleased to be able to welcome Aleen Bailey to Keep On Pushing. Aleen, welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure hanging out with a legend.
As we say in Jamaica, your sweet mouth won't get you anywhere. But thank you so much. So, I have, spent quite a bit of time watching you and cheering for you as well. So it's a pleasure. Okay. So one legend speaking to another legend. How is that?
Sounds perfect.
All right, cool. So, I'm going to start our conversation, Aileen, a little bit differently because, when I was preparing for our talk today, I came across an old interview of yours where you revealed that your track career got started because of anger management, let's say. So can you speak to us about that a little bit?
Okay, so I think, when I was about 10, I was like a cool, chill little kid, but then I got sexually violated. So in Jamaica, when stuff like that happens, like usually the victims get blamed. So I was like afraid to tell anybody. So so I just got mad because I didn't have anybody to talk to. So I just got mad. So I just. Anybody touch me if somebody touches me, look at me the wrong way, especially male student, it was like, I had to fight. So my teacher, Miss Campbell, when I was in primary school, she was like, you know what? Whenever she sensed that I was getting mad, she was like, you know what? Go to the cool off, run around the field a little bit. So it started as that, and then sports day, she entered me in all the events, and I ran and I won. And then I used to do the longer stuff, but then I developed asthma. So we cut it down to the shorter stuff, and we had a PE teacher. So I was getting better and better. So he was like, what? So they started entering me to every little champion competition in the parish. And it got to the point where I was representing St. Mary at the championship, the parish championship. And I did well. And so it was more, it started because I was an angry little kid. I was always fighting.
I can imagine. Well, I think it's such a great blessing, to have had such a successful career, being born out of such a tragic, event. in recent times, you know, women have been coming out and talking about their own experiences as you know, people who have been sexually violated, and in the process of doing that, they, in my mind, they have become victimized again, because people are talking about or criticizing them for taking so long to come out, and you know, doubting them. What are your views on that?
So the thing is, a lot of stuff happened, and then, like I said, like in Jamaica, like if you notice, like in Jamaica, they protect the person that does the act.
Mm-hmm.
So the child is blamed, and then the woman is also blamed. What were you wearing? Were you drunk? Yada yada. So you get blamed. So you tend to like not want to talk about it, because the fear of just being judged, and you're already going through something. You don't want to add the fear of being judged or getting in trouble. Or for a 10-year-old, I was just worried about getting a beating, and beating them the deadly at Jamaica when the parents beat. So I didn't want to get one. But like once I talked about it, and my mom was like, "Why didn't you come to me?" I was like, "Well, I wasn't afraid of you. I was afraid of my dad, because my dad was one of those people. He doesn't think. He just, if somebody comes and tell him that your daughter did this, he doesn't have a conversation with you. You're getting a spanking."
Right.
Yeah. So I was just worried about that. So I didn't. So, but my mom is a really strong woman. So I didn't realize I could talk to her, but now that I know, I talk to her a lot more about stuff.
Yeah. So what would you say to young girls who have, you know, had similar experiences to you, women who have been violated and, you know, are on the brink, want to come out, but are afraid to come out? What would you say to them?
I mean, I think all of us have that one person that we know we can talk to that's not going to judge us. So at least talk to that person, or if you're a person that writes, just write it out. Because sometimes putting stuff on paper, getting it out will help you release it, and then date it so people can say, "Oh, you just decided to come up with this stuff."
Right.
You know, everything, record it, write it down, put a date, talk about how you feel, and there's always somebody you can talk to. Like, if you go to church, there's always somebody in the church that you can talk to. And then like it's better now, because they're like different groups that represent that. There's a phone number you can call. There's an email address you can email. So just reach out to all the avenues that you have. It's like really hard to like talk about something, especially when it's something that's that traumatizing.
Yeah.
But just, if you are afraid to talk to somebody, just write it out, video record it, you know, take voice record it, just something just to get it out. Because if you like hold it in, it tears you down inside, and you might be mad and it will affect future relationships. So we just have to like figure out a way. It's gonna be hard, but we just have to figure out. It's just baby step, you know, baby step.
I think it's an important lesson from your experience as well, you know, for parents, you know, that we need to be more understanding, you know, when allow our kids, you know, to come and tell us, especially girls, when something untoward happens to them, they should not feel any intimidation coming and saying, "Mommy, Daddy, such and such has happened."
Yeah. And sometimes it's like close family members, so you're like, Jesus, what?
Yes, this is true. And kudos as well to Miss Campbell for having the insight to recognize your pain.
Yeah.
You know, did you ever divulge to her what had taken place?
No, I didn't. Yeah, and like when I found, because she died a couple years ago, so I didn't get to at least talk to her, tell her. I mean, she knew she was the one that got me into track.
Right. Yeah.
But she didn't know why.
Why? Yeah. But she played a pivotal role. But you know, kudos to her for that insight, and it just, I think, reinforces the importance of teachers and adults in the lives of kids who care. And
in the community that cares.
Yeah. So you mentioned St. Mary. You grew up in St. Mary. Tell us about your upbringing. I know that some folks may not know that Clifton Bailey the third, dancehall and reggae fans know as Capleton or the Fireman, was your brother or is your brother. Tell us about growing up with the Fireman and your other siblings.
So I remember him for a little bit because I was younger when he was there, but then he moved to Kingston to pursue his music career. Mm-hmm. So but it was. Is he
the oldest? Is he the oldest one?
No, I have an older brother that my mom had I have an older sister that's older than him, and I have an older brother that's older than him. So he's he's the third.
Yeah. So are you the youngest of the lot then?
I'm the youngest for my mom, but not my dad.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I'm a mom's girl.
Yeah. So what was it like growing up in St. Mary?
It was fun. It was fun, and I think growing up there helped me like to own my athletic abilities because we grew up in a farming community. So there was like fruits you had to climb to get stuff. You had to walk everywhere. You had to grow your own food. So walk to school. Sometimes you walk. If there's like a fight, you have to run from the fight.
Yeah.
So and then you're never hungry, so food is always there's like a fruit tree, you can go grab something to eat. And, I help like raise animals, and if there was like a sick animal, my older sibling would give it to me to take care of because I was like the nursery and little sister, so I would take care of everything. If they had a cut, I would take care of it, bandage it, everything, all of that cool stuff. And then back growing up in Jamaica, ticks. So I was a professional. I was a designated ticks picker. But it was an amazing bonding experience for me and my siblings and my little friends that I played in the neighborhood with. So you played everything. We were outside playing cricket, football. I was always playing with the boys and stuff, all of that.
So you were a tomboy then?
Yes, I was climbing and everything.
Yeah.
So I was in a tree pretty much, and then my mom always tell people how I had a bag of books. So I had like a bag of books, and I would just climb a tree and just read.
Oh, awesome! And so your track career got started as a result of therapy, so to speak. At what stage did you realize I have some talent here? I could probably do something with this thing.
It was when all the high schools started to come, when the high school started to come to my primary school to talk to me, and I was like, what? Mm-hmm. And then I started watching it. So I was like, okay, let me get some information about this track thing, and then I started doing research, and then I looked into Merlin Archie, and I was like, ooh, she is so cool. I want to be just like her. I want to go to the same school, all of that stuff. So Veritech was one of the last school I visited, so I was dead set on going to Manchester High School, and then Veer popped up, and the first thing was that Merlin Archie is a past student. And I was like, what? Definitely, I'm going there. Right. So I ended up at Veer. So it was just realizing like what benefit track has, because my parents weren't rich and were poor, so to get a scholarship to go to school, that will save them some cost. So right. And then I get to leave the community, so that was fun.
Yeah, you get to fly the cool. So Merlin Archie was your idol growing up.
She is. She was and still is. She's an amazing woman. And then the first time I met her, I was in heaven.
When was that? When and where was this?
I got to go to the 1997 World Championship. Mm-hmm. Back then, they used to bring like junior athletes that they saw could be the future of track. They used to bring them on senior team. And I got to go, and I met her, and she was so amazing. And I got to carry her. She made me, when I got to go to the track, and she made me carry her bag, man, and I was in heaven. She was like, I was like, sure. I was like, what? Okay, I'm holding her bag. Don't drop it. So So that for me was, and she let me warm up with her during her getting prepared for her race. And like that year she was ready, but then then she ran halfway down the track.
Oh yes, I remember that 200-meter race.
Yeah, I was warming up with her. I knew she was ready, man.
Yeah, she came off the bend and everybody was still at the starting blocks.
Yes.
That just, speaks to the level of focus that she was bringing to that race, though.
She is next level with it. Like her focus, the way she eats, because I got to like hang out with her and watch her routine, and the way she eat, like you see other athletes go towards the dessert table, she stayed within her, because she had to be staying within her in her routine to make sure she performed to the best of her ability.
Absolutely. So, National High School Girl Champs, you are the 100-meter, 200-meter champion. Which year was this? So
I won every single year. I think I started high school in 1990, so I won 1994 till 1999 when I graduated from high school. Yeah, so
you were just queen of the track, huh?
I was.
Awesome. What champs, as we call it, I see it as the proving ground for our young athletes, those who eventually break into the senior team and some make it to the Olympic Games. What was a champs experience like for you? I mean, you were winning, but in terms of the validating your mind that you had a talent that could take you places, what was the mindset? Did you learn anything about mental toughness and goal setting and perseverance during that time?
I mean, I was young, so I really wasn't focused. I was just doing whatever. I was just doing it to do it.
Yeah.
But then I changed my focus when I turned 16, and because Joseph Holdens is a clothing store in Jamaica, and the CEO Timothy Spencer and the owner Jimmy, they were sponsoring other kids, but then they decided to sponsor me. So my focus changed. So I was just doing like, I'm just doing it because I'm doing it. But then my focus changed, and then Dwight, he was like their electrician for the company, so he was explaining to me all the benefits. Like I could get a scholarship to college, and I could go further because I'm that talented. And I was like, oh, okay. So I started settling down then, and working hard and not being so lax, and started actually focusing on my schoolwork.
Right.
I had a couple of my friends, they made sure I stayed on track, like Kamika Shelley, Soyini, Camille, they made sure I stayed on track because they're like, I'm not super smart, but they're like super smart, so they made sure I stayed. Soyini was strict. I couldn't get away with anything. I had to make sure I paid attention to school and did my grade. But I was still angry in high school because I was getting into fights and stuff. But then that little group, and then my principal, Miss Bryan, who used to like bring twists, she would get the muscle behind my arm right here and just twist it. She's like, little girl, you have potential, you have potential. You need to focus and behave yourself. And with so many people invested into me, I had to make a change. So I made the change. I started training, focusing, listening to my coach, and my grades improved. I got a scholarship to go to college, but track in high school was fun. I made a bunch of friends. Elva Goldburn was like my best friend on the track. We did everything together when we went on junior teams, and when we ran she ran the 100. We would be having conversation during the races, which was so fun.
You guys were that dominant, but it's great that you had, such a supportive team around you, close friends, and your principal, and of course your coach as well. So you're having these discussions, and you're having people who are pushing you. And so you get focused. What goals did you set for yourself then?
So like every time I was little, like I always taking care of animals. So I wanted to be a vet. So I was like, okay, I'm going to college, get to be a vet, come
Right.
back and take care of all of the sick animals and stuff. But then when I got to college, my focus changed. So I wanted to be more into the area where I can work with kids who's been through what I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be able to work with kids to like be able to be that voice that somebody they can talk to. And so I switched from my pre-med to sociology / social work.
Got you. And, important lesson here, Aileen, because a lot of people resist setting goals because they feel that if they set a goal, they're going to be stuck in this one thing because that's a goal.
No, you can change it.
Precisely. It's your life. It's your goals. You decide.
I wanted to be a vet.
Yeah.
I was just supposed to be a vet. I wanted to be a social worker. That changed it. I was a professional athlete until last year.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like,
so
now I'm reset. Yeah, so plans change. You just have to go, like God guides you in the direction that you need to go at the time. So you just have to just go. And you don't have to have one goal. You can set many.
Mm-hmm.
But don't try to accomplish all of them at once. Try one. If that fails, you move to the next thing. You just keep moving.
So you got a scholarship. Was that to Barton County Community College in Kansas?
Yes.
And what was that transition like? I know you had gone overseas before, but now you had moved away from Jamaica. You're far away from Islington, St. Mary, and there to Kansas.
So when I went to Barton, there was other Jamaicans there that I knew from high school and from running it, and then people from all the Caribbean, like Trinidad, Bahamas. So we had like a mix of everybody. So you see people from when you used to run at CARIFTA Games and in high school. So you didn't feel like out of place. But the only reality check I got was the snow thing. Yeah, you understand the snow thing, yeah, bro.
No, it's fun.
It was fun, but yeah, my toes weren't handling very well, and I was cold.
Yeah.
And coach used to shovel out lane 1, and we'd have to run into the gym. Stay warm, run out, run back into the gym. The snow didn't stop training, but it was fun, and I got to see buffaloes. So right next to us was like a buffalo farm, so it was my first time seeing buffalo. So that was a great experience because it gave me time to focus on like what it is that I want to do, and then from that, I spent 2 years there, and I dominated there for 2 years, 1-1, the double, the 4x1. My team won the national championship all the years I was there. So that was an amazing experience, and I met a bunch of beautiful people that I still communicate with till this day. So you create all these different relationships with all these different people, which is good.
Got you. And then from there on to the University of South Carolina.
Yes, to the University of South Carolina, which is an hour and a half away from me now. So I came back home.
Right.
So I went there. My first year at the NCAA was very rough because the 100-meter, they said I false started. I knew I didn't because I had never get out of the blocks. I don't know what they saw. So I cried like a baby. Like I lost my mind because I felt like I felt that I let my team down. But my team captain Demetria, she went into mommy mode, and she just hugged on me and loved on me, and my team just came and hugged on me and loved on me. And they were like, "You have the 200, you have the 4x1, just go out there and just kill it." So I wasn't expected to place in the top 2 in the 200. So I went out there. I was running to win, but I got second, which gave us enough point. The 4x1 relay, we weren't expected to win. My teammate got me the stick. I was like, I'm not giving up this lead. I extended it. We won. And then we won the first women's team won the first national title in the University of South Carolina school history. So that was really good. And I was a part of such an amazing group and created history for the school. So.
Indeed. So Aileen, talk to me about breakthroughs, because obviously you have the talent. You kind of settled down, started working hard. You dominated at at girls champs and CARIFTA junior college. But yeah, and then you get to, University of South Carolina, and you're doing incredibly well as well. By the way, was that while you were at South Carolina, you then broke onto the senior team?
Yes. So 2003 was when because I used to I made the senior team like 1999. I was on the World Championship team, so we won a relay bronze medal that year. So that was my first season competing. So I was still in high school. But in 2003, I went to the World Championship, finished, and it was 7th, and I ended up being 6th because a couple of people got disqualified. But in the 200, I tore my hamstring, and that was another pivotal moment for me because I was in the same heat with same round with Merlin, and she saw that I got hurt, and she finished her race, ran back down, and then the paramedic was taking too long to come get me. Ooh, I did not know her. I did not know she could snap. But I was crying. I was crying in pain, but I was crying, and then I started crying at the fact that she was going crazy at these people because they were taking too long to come get me off the track.
Yeah.
And that for me was like, wow, she is amazing.
So your hero was also playing mother to you, huh?
Yeah, and then she knew a bunch of medicals because she was on the pro scene before, so she knew all the right doctors. Like within a few seconds, I was hooked up with her doctor to check out my leg. We started therapy immediately, and I came back to the U.S. and started training with my coach Fry at South Carolina, and we got ready for the 2004 Olympics.
Awesome. So the question I was going to ask you before was this, idea of breakthrough. What do you think it was in your mindset that got you from, being really good at the junior level to getting through to the senior level on the World Championship team and still holding your own? How does, Joe Smith, in his regular job doing well, how does he get himself to the next level, you think?
I had a reason for what I was doing because my mom is always the reason for me to do something. So I wanted to make sure she was always proud, and I wanted to make sure she was taken care of. So I was like, okay, if I do well here, I'll be able to take care of her, and then she'll be able to be proud, and she get to brag to her little church friend that her little daughter is here running around and all of that stuff. And I see the joy that she has whenever she talks about me or whenever she's talking with her little friends about me. So she was my reason for always wanting to be better or move forward. Because I watched her growing up. I remember sometime we barely had food, but she created these meals. I did not know you could make callaloo soup. Yeah, that's how good she was.
Yeah.
That thing tasted so good.
Got it. So you're saying that it's you latched onto a reason, a why, a purpose.
Yes, a purpose. I had a purpose, and my purpose and my why was my mom.
Yeah.
And why am I doing this? Why? And it's my mom. My mom is the first thing, and then my community, and then my country. Because the little community in it's like a little community. It's like nobody really knows about it. You hear about Port Maria and Islington and all of nothing about there. So my community itself, because they're like really proud that this, this community produces this person, like my brother grew up there. So, so we have a musician and we have a famous track athlete. So
from the same family, go figure, right? That's the first family of the community.
Yeah. So, and they all I can't just go home and be like, I'm just going to my house. I have to make stops.
Yeah.
I have to go through the entire neighborhood and check in.
Cool. So,
so you just have to find
you have to find your why. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Aileen, I noticed that when you're standing at the start, you're either dancing or you're doing these boxing moves. What's going on in your head then?
So I used to be super nervous with stuff. So I've been that, like me and Elva and I, like in high school, we had crazy stuff that we do. And then Saini, my high school, we had crazy stuff that we do. We used to do socks or we just play music. But in college, I started boxing. And my teacher there, one of the cross country coaches, Stan, I was like, a track meet, and I was like super nervous.
When you started boxing,
like,
do you mean you went into the gym and boxed?
Yes. Because at University of South Carolina, they have different classes that you can take. So I started doing that. Mm-hmm. And then my coach, Stan Rosenthal, I was so nervous at a track meet. And he was like, what do you love? I was like, I love music. He was like, okay. But the other thing is like boxing. So he was like, incorporate that. Find a song that you love, listen to it, and then find something that you like to do and do it. So I used to listen to Bob Marley, Could You Be Loved? And then there's like a part that says, only the fittest of the fittest shall survive, stay alive. So that was a song that was playing in my head all the time. And then I was shadow boxing, like beating up all the nerves.
Right.
You got to beat them up. If you don't beat them up, they're going to take over the whole thing.
They will kill you.
So that's how. Yeah, so that's how that started. So it's like a little bit started from high school with the crazy socks, because Elva and I used to wear one green, one yellow, and in high school, Saini and high, Beartech was green and yellow, so we wear one green, one yellow. So all we had that, and music was a thing. Music kept me calm, and it still does, and it kept me focused, and it still does. So, so as an athlete or just a regular person, you have to find something that centers you and just work with it.
Understood. So there's so much competition, man, trying to make the Jamaican team. You know, you have those people who are ahead of you, like when you're just getting started, Merlin and her crew. Then you have your peers who are all fighting to be a staple on the team. And then you have the up and coming ones who are kind of nipping on your heels, as it were, right? So how do you find your groove in such a crazy, challenging, competitive environment, Aileen? How do you find your groove, and how would you advise, again, someone who is in a similar environment, not necessarily sports, and they're trying to make their way forward?
Just focus on you, because if you focus on everything else, you lose track of what you need to do. So you have to focus on yourself. Because I realize, like, sometimes if I go into a race and I see somebody that's like for example, I go into the race and see Merlin, I was like, oh my goodness, it's her.
Yeah.
But then I lose focus and I don't run my race. I'm more in awe of the person I'm running with. Yeah. So you have to create, and that's what I learned from Merlin. She has this tunnel vision when she's socialized and all that stuff. And as soon as the starter says, on your marks, like all she's hearing is a starter. You just have to focus. Sometimes you just have to be selfish and focus on yourself, and just find something that keeps you that will help you stay focused on your race at hand. And it's nervous, and if you go into a race and somebody that's there that you know is good, like in every instant and everything you do at that moment, even though they are good, you are the best at that moment. You are the best at that moment, and you have to tell yourself that I am the best. I am in the race with the world record holder, but I am the best. I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna give it my best, because if you focus on that and give it your best, the world record holder might be having an off day and you beat them.
It's great advice, as I think a lot of people, as you rightly say, get sidetracked with the name. The name, man, that guy's a top athlete, girl is a top athlete, the best salesperson ever. And you tend to forget that you have the same ability to get to that level, but
you're at the same table with them.
Yeah, exactly. So it meant that you have something, right? And so if you're not focusing on you, then you're taking away your power. You're giving away your power, in fact.
Exactly.
And you're losing out. So you spoke about you know, like competing and false starting and pulling a hamstring and that kind of stuff. How do you deal with disappointments?
So
and if I could bring one up, you know, 2008, you know, Jamaica is primed to win the gold. It's like almost a done deal, and we don't even finish the race, and you would have had your second gold medal. So yeah, so how do you deal with that range of all the different ranges of disappointments?
You have to get it out of your system. Wow, yeah. All of that stuff. And then you refocus. It's hard to refocus, but you have to like find a way to refocus. So just get it out of get a good cry in, get it out of your system, and just refocus and make sure that the next time you're not the one being taken off the relay team. So that and then next time make sure you pay attention to your teammates to make sure they're like gelling, and if something is off, don't be afraid to say something right then and there, you know, because like the slightest thing could throw something off, and just you know, it's not the end of the world. And like I grew up in church, so my mom always says God has a reason for everything. So I just trust that whenever something happened, God has a reason for everything, and he has something bigger and greater in store for you, because you can make plans, but it's his plan and not yours. And sometimes we are so focused on the wrong thing, and he'll show you where you need to go, but because you're so stuck on this, said, no, I want to do this, but he'll show you, like he'll give you like a sign, everything, and you still don't follow the sign. So it's just trust, you know, you bounce back by just trusting yourself, trusting your ability, trusting that God has something greater in store for you, and just keep pushing. It might not be track, it might be something else.
True. You know, it's kind of interesting because you mentioned the boxing and that you went in the boxing gym, and I often use the analogy of a boxer as well, that a boxer will be in the ring and he's going to get hit, or she's going to get hit, and she can't pretend that she didn't get hit. He has to absorb that punch and then come out swinging, right? I'm sure that throughout your long, storied career, Aileen, you have had naysayers, people who just, for whatever reason, did not believe in you. How do you deal with those criticisms?
At first it was hard because I'm a people person, I'm a sweet person, I'm a caring person, and I feel like everybody in the world should be kind, but they're not. So it hurts. Like it hurts that you're going out there. Sometimes you have to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and go to practice, and you get a little break, then you come back at 3 in the evening and go to practice. So you're working hard all day, and you're putting all this stress and strain on your body. You do track stuff, you do yoga, you do Pilates, you cross train, you do boxing, just to get your body, you know, to where you need it to go. And then you have people just computer bully that just come on and have all this thing to say, and that don't have any idea what track is and what an athlete goes through physically and mentally. And yeah, at first it hurt. It still hurts sometimes when I think of it, because it's not people from a different country that are bashing you. It's your own people. When it's your own people, it hurts on a different level. Because I'm like, I've had people say I am fat, I am too old, I need to retire and make the young ones. But I was like, if the young ones are not beating me, why should I retire? Like I had to work hard to overthrow the ones before me, or compete with the ones before me. So why they didn't give me a break? They didn't retire just to give me a break to get in. So, and I'm always nurturing and caring whenever there's a young person on the team. So I'm like, I always welcome them with open arms, because my first experience on the senior team wasn't the best, which is why I wanted to make sure that, the young ones, whenever they make the team, they're good. So when people don't know you and then they're so mean and rude, and I'm like, Jesus, like, who raised you? Where were you raised? Like, who hurt you? Like, I just get loved on by my friends and my family, and then you have people that actually knows about track and field that will always encourage and motivate me. So I just hold on to those positive people. And your support system is very important. Like, you have to have a strong support system, and mine was just rock solid. And whenever I come home crying, like, dude, they call me fat and they say I need to retire. Like, what? Who did that?
Right.
Then my big brother's like, yeah, let me find him, dig up my gun. I was like, it's like, no, you ain't gotta do that.
Well, maybe we shouldn't. No, but you're absolutely right. We are all going to face criticisms, right? And
definitely.
And especially when you're Jamaican and you compete and represent your country so passionately, I can imagine, and I know because I've had that, how it hurts when it's your own that criticize you.
Yeah.
But you're right. You do it because you love it, and your support system gets you through that.
Yeah, next level.
Yeah. So you have had a really stellar career, though. Capping it off with an Olympic gold medal in Athens in the relays, which, by the way, is the first Olympic gold medal, relay gold medal by the women for Jamaica. So kudos to you and your team.
Thank you.
Making more history. But you have also won individual medals at every level you have competed at. But you have never won that individual Olympic medal.
No.
So when you look back on your career, I mean, how do you feel about that? Does that feel or look like a blemish to you?
It used to be, but like as I get older, I realize that it wasn't meant to be. And I do have a medal. I did accomplish a lot. I just have to focus on the good and what I've accomplished, because there's a lot of people that train and work hard but never been to an Olympics, been to a world championship, never got a medal. And my country is always proud of me, and like, it's crazy. Like, I still, like, the other day I was in Publix here in Charleston, and somebody from Jamaica recognized me, and what? So it came with a lot of different stuff, because I still feel special. Like, people know me, and like, I feel good. But and then the fact that I'm influencing somebody to work hard, be the best they can be, because I wasn't like I didn't have individual medal like a Shelley or so not everybody can be a Shelley or a Veronica. So they have hope that, okay, I can make a team, I can get a relay medal or something. Just I just have to keep working, because not everybody is gonna meant a gold medal. An individual medal is not meant for everybody, even though you work hard, and it's just wasn't in the cards. So you still just working hard, because you never know if you're not getting an Olympic medal, then maybe you get it in something else. You might try a different event, try a different sport, and then you learn valuable life skills, because when you get to be in the corporate world, like, you have that mentality of like working hard, staying on task. You have that, so it will help you throughout life, and even with your family, you know how to stay on task and balance your time, manage your time, because you have to manage your time with track and field, because you have to train, spend time with your family, do all this other stuff. So it helps you in the long run.
Yeah. It's true though, and wise words. Thank you for that, because all of us tend to beat ourselves up for the one thing we didn't do. I mean, we did like 99 right and awesome, and then we negate all of that accomplishment with the one thing that didn't happen, which
Yeah.
in the
And the
long
fact that
run.
I never gave up, the fact that I never gave up because I didn't get a medal, like that will show a child, no matter what, I just have to keep pushing, not because something don't work, I'm just going to give up. Like,
Yeah,
no, just keep
absolutely.
pushing.
So not enough people in my mind, Aileen, are introspective, but you strike me as someone who is truly in touch with who they are. Who would you say Aleen Bailey is?
Jesus, I am just this little country girl from St. Mary who so happened to, bump into track and field. And I have a beautiful spirit, a kind heart. I always I want the best for others. So I go above and beyond to help those in need because I feel that I got help. So, but Aileen is just a regular country girl who just worked hard and accomplished her dreams and is still working hard to accomplish her dreams. That might not be track and field, but it's something different. And I have this half marathon at the end of the year. So
wow, you're going back to your original roots of doing the longer stuff.
yeah. So you see, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, man.
Yeah, exactly. And so
knows?
the little country girl who followed her dreams and is inspiring others to do the same.
Yes, definitely. So I just wanted to be an inspiration. I just want to be an inspiration,
Yeah.
that you can, it doesn't matter where you're from. If you're from country, you come from the ghetto, you're where you're born and raised doesn't define who you are. So never allow anybody to put you in that box that, oh, you come from the ghetto, so all you're going to do is this and that and that. No, you have
right?
doctors, lawyers, athletes.
Yes.
I mean, Shelly is from Waterhouse, so
so am I, by the way.
Ooh, nice. See, and you paved the way for us. Like we have like a women bobsled team. You paved the way for us. So
it's all
just
good.
Yeah, and if the little idiot bobsled never flip another win.
Probably, we like to think so, but that's.
I know, I felt it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, just eat that bobsled, man.
I know it's a sled's fault. I know that, but
I did it already.
You play the cards that life deal you, right?
Definitely. And you guys did amazing. I mean,
it's a black, green, and gold in us. What can we say? You know what that feels like.
I know what it feels like, man. You can't can't just give up. You can't quit. It's not in us.
Pushing. No, it's not in us. Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that you wanted to be a vet, but then you switched focus, you switched your dreams to do sociology because you wanted to be able to impact lives, right? So now you're a teacher, a substitute teacher, and it really sounds like giving back is important to you. Can you tell us why? Why is giving back so important to you?
Because I was a lost child. So for kids to have somebody that's been through what they're probably going through, throughout life, even as a teenager, to have somebody like, that can give you inside advice on how to maneuver through life, and that you're going to fall in love and have a few broken hearts, and you just have to like move past it and just teach you life skills on how to just, be the best you, and don't allow anything or anyone to change your mind about anything. Because if I had allowed all those people that were saying I'm old and I'm fat and I need to retire, I mean, 2004, 2009, I wouldn't have had my world championship gold medal.
Yeah. I don't even know what they're talking about being old and fat, because I'm looking at you right now. You don't look old. You certainly don't look fat. So maybe they're seeing something completely different on their screens.
And then I realized hurt people. So they're hurting. That's why they're trying to hurt you. They're transferring their pain onto you. So
important.
I just have to show them love.
Yeah. Important to remember, hurt people hurt people. I've never heard that one before, but I'm going to have to borrow it from you. So Aileen, as we wind down, like, if there are lots of young girls across the length and breadth of Jamaica in fact, across the world, who is, if they were watching you now, what piece of advice would you give to them?
So follow your dreams. Never give up. Continue to work hard. See the beauty within yourself. Don't let anybody say anything about you that's negative, that will change your concept of yourself and how you view yourself. Because how you view yourself will get you through anything. So you just have to love that little person that's in you, and keep that inner child alive. Have fun, enjoy everything that you do. Don't make it a task, because whenever you make it a task, it becomes just stress. And just have fun, enjoy yourself, work hard, pray without ceasing, have a strong support system, have people around you that are positive. Any negative friend you have, get rid of them. Just keep your circle closed. In high school, I had a small circle, and everybody was just pouring love into me. And that's what you need. Have people that just pour love into you, not negativity, just pure love, because that will get you through any and everything.
Indeed. Wise words from one of Jamaica's legend, Miss Aileen Bailey. You really epitomize, Aileen, the keep on pushing spirit, the keep on pushing philosophy. And that's why I'm so excited to have you, share your experience and your wisdom, with myself. I've learned a lot from just chatting with you, and of course, the wider audience. Thank you so much for appearing on Keep On Pushing. Good luck with the marathon, the half marathon, coming up, and with all your future endeavors.
Thank you. And I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need to know how to get one of your shirts. I need to buy one.
All right, cool. We can work on that. Because you probably should wear it for the marathon, because you're going to need to keep on pushing.
Yes, I'm going to need it. So we need to get it to me by December. So let me know how.
All right, cool. All right, we'll talk soon. Thank you again for coming on Keep On Pushing.
You're welcome. Love and light to you, and more success.
Awesome.